But this idea about how to accept new opportunities, my first tip would be to use a question, and I've brought this up in previous episodes. We've talked about this before. I was talking about this morning about how do I feel about myself here? And so let's say a new opportunity comes up. Somebody emails you or calls you or in a meeting says, hey, how about doing this for me? Or how about taking on this course or delivering this product or something like that. The piece around this, how do I feel about myself? So you look at the opportunity. How do I feel about myself? So what you're looking for is I feel like I've landed in my heart. I feel aligned. I feel authentic.
Debz is a stressologist. She will stretch your mindset to think bigger than you've ever thought before, with follow-through techniques that are realistic and achievable to blow any fear out of your mind. Moira is a mindset cultivator. She will help you align your personal trinity of self-trust, inner awareness, and self-confidence so that you discover and share your unique gifts and purpose. Together, their goal with these conversations is to share how our inclinations do not always work in our best interest and to provide the knowledge to leverage the gifts that already exist within each one of us. Their desire is to help you learn how to access the habits and behaviors that will lead to positive change and your best quality of life. Welcome to your deliciously motivated mindset.
Woo-hoo-hoo. Yay. Here we go. We go. I know. We are here, our deliciously motivated mindset conversation with Debz and Moira. Welcome, Moira.
Hello.
Yes. And today we're talking about how to accept new opportunities. Do we have a physical reaction, or do we go, yeah, or do we go,
I say, yeah. Well, it could be all. Could be all of that.
Yeah. I like the old way. Why do I have to change? Anyway, we're going on a tangent today. I just know it. I can feel it.
I'm sure we are. Yep. I wonder what rabbit hole we're going to dive down.
Yes. So if you've listened to us before, thank you for coming back. We appreciate that. And if you haven't, we appreciate you hanging in there. Just hang in there.
Checking it out.
50 minutes.
Welcome.
Here we go. Yeah, that's it. Thank you. And yay for being drawn into listening to us. One of the things we do at the very start of our podcast is we rate ourselves. And we rate ourselves 0 to 11. And a 10 or beyond, the 11, is where you are just... Moira's favorite word, discombobulated.
Discombobulated. Yep.
You're literally in such a pickle. There's no light at any tunnel. There's literally no light switch for you. That's you can't see the light switch. And then there's, which is also known as Christmas tree lights, when you open the box, the Christmas tree lights, and you're like, and you say, who didn't put this?
Who didn't do this?
Who put it away this way last year? That's it. That's the one. And then there's a 0. Oh, even just taking the 0, even just saying the 0.
Yeah.
My whole body just went, yeah. And that there's no, that's it. A 0 is a 0.
0 is zen. You are zen at 0. Peaceful, calm.
No forward, side, backwards. You're just present. That's it. Yeah.
Well, that was snap.
And grateful.
That was good.
Yeah.
We both said present. Present.
Yes, we're here. So that is where we're at. What we do is we rate ourselves at the start, we rate ourselves halfway through, and then again at the end. And our intention clearly is to move you to the 0. Like, that's obvious, but it's to move you to a 0 with insights, laughter, thoughtfulness, and how to accept new opportunities.
Yeah, and be inspired and uplifted and laugh. We're going to make you laugh. Just
you got to laugh. Just
PS,
laugh with Deborah.
PS.
Because she's that's it. That's the one. PS. So that's us. So Moira, where would you be today on your scale of chickens?
Well, I'm really excited about this conversation. I love this title, How to Accept New Opportunities, but I'm actually going to put myself at a 2. I had to push myself because I had a stressful wee drive to come back home to be here on time to have our conversation, because
laughing at
there's a
her.
big snowstorm and I drove back through the snowstorm. It's actually not a big bad snowstorm, like I've been through some terrible ones, but it was enough to just make my, breathe shallow and grip the steering wheel quite tightly when I was losing traction, those kind of things. So therefore,
those ones.
yes. How about you?
Well, I'm going to say a 2 as well. And the reason I'm going to say a 2 is just because I do have I would have said I'm fine, but I do have this little niggle that's coming up. And it's niggly. And it's starting to just actually annoy me.
Oh.
Yeah, so I'm going to say a 2 because it's annoying me now. It'll come out. We know what it is. What it is. It's something about speaking up. So, surprise.
And
so
accepting
here we are.
new opportunities.
Yeah, here we are. How to accept new opportunities. What a way to start. What would you say? How would you like to kick this off? Because when we think about new opportunities, we think exciting things, but then there's also things that we don't think that are as exciting too. We're like, oh, why do I have to do this?
Yeah. So it's a really good point, is that all opportunities conceivably are an opening, whether they're ones that light you up or make you kind of go, right?
Yeah.
But this idea about how to accept new opportunities, my first tip would be to use a question, and I've brought this up in previous episodes. We've talked about this before. I was talking about this morning about how do I feel about myself here? And so let's say a new opportunity comes up. Somebody emails you or calls you or in a meeting says, hey, how about doing this for me? Or how about taking on this course or delivering this product or something like that. The piece around this, how do I feel about myself? So you look at the opportunity. How do I feel about myself? So what you're looking for is I feel like I've landed in my heart. I feel aligned. I feel authentic. I feel excited. Those are the kind of yes answers that you're looking for. Whereas sometimes we're going to be gifted opportunities, and the real test of that opportunity is for you to say thanks, but no. Do you see what I'm saying? So it's like not every single opportunity that comes and lands on our lap are specifically for us. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. And I also think when you're saying that, because we're coming into Christmas time, excuse me, the word, oh yeah, my voice is really is obligation.
Yeah.
Because we feel, we believe we have to do things because they're family or they're this or they're
I
that,
should or yeah.
I work for someone and they pay me to do this and I should get this done because they've done stuff for me. And like those things really come into play quite strongly on what Moira's just said, because, how does it make me feel about me? Oh, I'll just do it. I'll be okay. I'll get through. No. And I think, I guess where I'd put in here and I would say no more often.
Yeah.
So I don't know if this is obligation or a tip saying obligation or be aware of that, or
it's all kind of related to one another, right?
Yeah, say no more often. Obligation and saying no.
Yeah. Giving yourself the permission. Well, even
and
giving
I think
yourself the permission to pause long enough to see, is it right for me?
Yeah.
As opposed to, like you just said, how you just said that, it made me feel like when we do that, oh yeah, sure, I'll just do that. That's coming from our thinking mind, that we're just in our head. That's not always the best way.
Yeah.
Into our own awareness, our own inner knowing, right?
Yeah, and it falls it falls into a yuck category because you're actually going against what your soul or your purpose or whatever, my purpose is to be nice to everyone. No, your purpose is to live a life. Like, you don't have to be nice to everyone, because if you're actually living your life, you're going to be nice to people anyway. And you're going to be mean in some other ways, but that's okay. So go down a tangent here. But I would say the obligation is one that stagnates us and saying no. And if people can't handle us saying no, as long as you as long as you say it with heart.
Yes.
Like, as long as you say it with heart, it's going to be received with heart, then there's no a-holeness in it.
Yeah. But this, and I just need to feel into this for a moment, because the thing is that what I was feeling about when you were saying, if you go into saying, yes, I need to do this because it's aligned with my purpose, or I should do this, or I've always done it, and we're going into it with a sense of obligation, or even, it could be an obligation, like maybe you've been waiting for a new opportunity for a really long time, and then something comes up, and you've been waiting for so long for an opportunity. You think, oh, well, I don't know when the next one's coming, so I'm just going to say yes to this, without stopping and saying, is this for me? Is this the best one? And I feel like if we do that, and here's the where I'm coming from with this, is that we got to check in to see and realize that when we say yes to something out of just obligation or desperation, even, which could be that thing of, I better say yes to this because I don't know if there's going to be another opportunity, at some point resentment will come in, because you've gone against what's right for you. Do you know what I mean?
Even though you think it's right at the time.
Yes. But you think, and there's the key piece, is you think, you are thinking as opposed to feeling into all aspects. You know how we do our check-in at the beginning here? We're checking in on our PEMs, our physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual. In order to acknowledge or assess or be clear on these new opportunities being the right ones for you, we still have to check in physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. All too often, and we are all so conditioned to just depend upon the mental, right? What do you think about this? Right?
Yeah, see, well, these are all the things that can stop you from taking your opportunities, but actually stop you from even being open, because there's opportunities are coming every day to us, but whether we see them or not. And I guess when we're sitting in that frustration, out of fair exchange, you should be doing this for me, I shouldn't be doing this, all those things, you're not going to see opportunities, you're just going to see
there's things I have to do.
Yeah. Problems.
Yeah, I know. I was just thinking that too. Oh, I don't ever have any opportunities. I have all these problems I have to deal with.
I know. I literally just did that whole tangent. Then my whole mind just went, oh yeah, I've seen that and that, and then this happens, and my whole freaking freight train going at an excessive speeds, hurling down the way. I think, how does it make me feel about me? Obligations saying no. They're pretty strong. Podcast over. They're pretty strong ones.
Well, something that I'm feeling, and they kind of related to what we've been talking about so far, is the whole piece around the fact that we are all powerful, powerful creator beings. So when opportunities, whether they light you up, whether they are problems, or they're seen as obstacles or blocks, or label it what you want, but we're creating the energy to pull them in. And so, and you've done this before, Deb, about if you get triggered and you say thank you, you go straight to gratitude, because it's like, it may feel a wee bit uncomfortable or discombobulating, but it's like, oh, what am I going to discover here? right? So you're so this is the key piece, is that acknowledging that it's your energy that it's attracted this new opportunity. So can you get into celebration? Yay me, I've attracted or created, or
I'm very clever, I can
yeah
I'm very clever, I can do this.
Yeah, and not get stuck in a story about it.
Yeah.
But also, see, it feels like all of these points that we've discussed so far in this conversation, they all exist side by side. It's like it's a multifaceted, multi-layered component to accepting new opportunities. And this new opportunity could simply be, thanks for thinking of me, but not this time round. Right? Could be as simple as that. That's the opportunity that I needed to stand up for myself, stand my ground, keep my boundaries. I know Deb doesn't like us talking about holding boundaries like
that. Keep my boundaries. I don't know what that word is. There's a few trigger words for me. That just happens to be one if you haven't picked them up. Maybe we should actually have a list. Who can add to Deb's trigger words?
So we can have Deb being, triggered. How to trigger Deb.
Yeah, Moira can go, see how many times I can get it into a podcast. Yeah. We don't have a sense of humor like that. I think how to accept new opportunities is also, I'm going to say, nothing's concrete. So if you get this opportunity and you say no now, it doesn't mean that opportunity may not come back to you in time, or it doesn't mean so even if you say yes now, that could change, or you say no now. So I think the thing is acknowledging that we change. We talk about our PEMs. If I've had lack of sleep, there's definitely a different energy about me. If I've eaten too much or not eaten the right foods or any of that sort of stuff, if you're feeling a little bit, if your PEMs are out in any way, that can make a big difference on your day and those around you. So I think acknowledging that stuff is, I know we talked about acknowledging before, but I think actually just knowing that, reminding yourself that nothing is set in concrete.
I think that's a really important one because we are all fluid and flowing, and so is everything around us. And so to your point, that's why it's so important to check in physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, because we get affected by the environment we're in, by what's happening, how much sleep we had, how much physical exercise we've had. And so saying, no, it doesn't fit for me right now, or don't have the bandwidth for that right now, doesn't mean that tomorrow, come back to me tomorrow. Maybe I'll be like, yes, the stars are aligned, the phase of the moon is correct, and let's go.
Yeah, but I think even with that nothing set in concrete, if you're a 2 today or you're an 8, that's okay, because tomorrow you can be something different, or even in an hour or 30 minutes. Like, don't beat yourself up that that's where you're at.
Right.
Like let it go. It's just acknowledge and move on.
Yeah. So that's funny because we haven't talked about these A's for a couple of episodes about
we haven't either. No,
the awareness and accepting and acknowledge. So it is to so that's an important part here too around accepting new opportunities, is to acknowledge my energy co-created or drew this in. But it doesn't mean I have to say yes. I can say, press pause, let me get back to it, that kind of thing. But also to celebrate that I have the awareness that I've been, putting out this tractor beam and it's come in.
I think people don't like to know they've manifested things. I think, I don't want to know that I created that car crash. I don't want to know that this has happened. And I think, in my mind, when it gets to that point, then you just go, well, you did, move on. Don't let, I don't want to know that I created that, or the negative things in the world, or why did I draw this in and my sister didn't, or why, that whole thing. But when you get onto that why train, that's an endless cycle.
Yeah, we don't do why.
It's just
Don't
an
do
endless
why.
cycle that you won't find an end result to. So I think, let it go. Just let things go. Like, I don't know. Does that sum it up? Is that not really intellectual?
So
But
I think the thing that's really, really important, because I've had those kind of conversations with people too about the manifest. I manifested this car crash. That's a good example. That this is not about accusation or negativity or burden or shame, guilt. The thing about it is, there was a gift in there. You may not see it. In fact, a lot of times when there's atrocities or suffering or discombobulation of a weighty measure, you need to take some time to unpack it. And it's not okay to get into your head and go, oh, what's wrong with me? How come I did it, created that, and this person didn't? That's comparing yourself to somebody else, and that's not okay. It's not fair for you or the other person. So it's to stay present and say, okay, I can't see the gift or the opportunity right now, but trust. So here's another big piece, right? Is to trust. Just because I can't see it doesn't mean it's not there. And keep taking, what step can I take? And not getting into that why question.
I think,
when we go into why, I've always done this, is that can you reframe why into what? Instead of saying, why is this happening? Is what is the gift here? Or what is it that I can do? What is it that I need to surrender and let go of? And it's by that way that helps in this whole conversation about accepting new opportunity too, is what am I to do with this opportunity? Well, maybe I just need to hold on to it for a moment until the clarity comes in for me. Does that make sense, Deb?
Yeah, it does. And I like that why into what, but so many people do jump on that why.
Oh, they do.
Why? And it's just, it's taxing.
Well, it's taxing, but it's always going to take you into a negative spin. It's always going to take you into negative spin. And that's actually our own physiology is wired that way. Why did you do this? It's because I suck. Why is this happening? Oh, because people like me don't deserve anything better.
Yeah, that bullshit. Yeah. I think so I want to jump into that why. And I want to say something about the people around. How to accept new opportunities. They come from, people. I'm just going to put people, and there's a lot of things under people. There's trust. So I don't know this person. This person's given me a job and I don't know what they're like. So you have to have trust in that. You have to be aware of your past stories, because your past stories are aligned to that trust. Part of so-and-so burnt me, they've got a beard like my old boss had a beard, so I still have triggers associated with that, all these little things, and know that people are doing the best they can with what they've got. And then the other one that goes along people is jealousy. I was trying to put all this stuff in my head into a thing, so I'm just going to say people in tribe. And I think trust is such a vital one, which incorporates all our past stories, but trust is so vital because it is the thing that can immobilize us or can plug us forward, which associates with our past stories. And jealousy is just something that will stagnate you. If you go, which is part of that why did they get the job and I didn't? Why do they always get the opportunities? Why? So be aware of your jealousy. Look at what's really going on. There's something there to celebrate. But also just know that people are here on this earth to do the best they can. I think that's the important one as well. We don't wake up every day and go, I'm going to be an a-hole today. Well, I don't. No. As soon as I said that, I went, hang on, what did I wake up with this morning? I was like, no, I woke up and went, I must get out of bed. I must, which is like that should word.
Yes.
Yeah, I think people are generally on a journey.
I agree with you. I also, and you've heard me say this before, we've talked about this in a past episode about trust being an inside job. And so to me, if I hear people, or if I even see it in myself, of, oh, I don't trust that person to do something, or I don't trust their word, or that's a sign for me to get introspective and go, where have I broken my own trust? Where have I let something down, or made a promise to myself and then broke my own word? Because that's actually one of the first things that happens when we get into that whole piece around, oh, I can't trust these people. But the other part that I'm feeling with what you said about around people is past stories. I think it's really important to stay present and be cognizant of the stories you're telling yourself.
Oh, you don't ignore them.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, definitely don't ignore them, because that would be a show.
I have some conversations with clients, because I actually and I like to help people laugh at the stories they tell themselves, because I think that's an important part. and so for me in conversations is that I will hold space for somebody telling me a story, and there's something that happens energetically, because they'll interrupt themselves and they'll go, oh, I'm making up a story again, aren't I?
No.
Yeah, you are. Yep. And we don't need to make up stories. We've got too much.
I'm amused by that one. That's a bloody good story. I haven't heard that one before. Never.
But accepting new opportunities to see, that's how come being aware of running your life or your choices or your decisions based on a story. When you become aware of it, you can go, oh, wait, I don't need to believe in that story. I don't need to tell the story. I don't need to believe in it. I don't need to have that being the defining moment whether I accept this new opportunity or not. Right?
Yeah.
A quick wee message before we get back to this episode. You can get access to a special gift Moira and Debz have put together for you. Go to deliciouslymotivatedmindset.com/gift. When you sign up, you'll receive instant access to an inner peace kit and the 30 Days of Wisdom program, both of which is intended to help you feel deliciously motivated right away. Go to deliciouslymotivatedmindset.com/gift.
I've got a great wee coach. I say wee coach, everyone's wee under me. Yeah, wee coach. And one of the things he giggles at is when people tell a story, and he's like, and some of them are horrific stories, like he's got some real juicy stories, and he just goes, just a story. And because I think if he said, if I really tapped into some of the stuff that happened to people, like I'd be crying in the corner going, how did you get through it? But he just goes, it's just a story. In his head, he goes, it's just a story. So he can actually disassociate, I don't know if dissociate's the word, disassociate his human feelings and actually just get into that story and unpack it and do it with little emotion, which I think is a great talent to do.
Right.
For a coach. I mean, definitely to have some emotion, but not to...
Well, to have some compassion, but this is something that comes up for me with cancer patients that I work with, that I hold space and have compassion, but also help them rewrite sometimes. You're
just going to say reconnect this story and make it.
And make it more nurturing, more heartfelt, more present, as opposed to, I suck because I made these wrong choices in the past, right?
Well, I think even just that alone is, we talk about past stories, is rewrite them.
Yeah.
Like everything, and that goes back to nothing set in concrete.
That's right.
We can rewrite them.
Yeah. Well, we've been talking about the whole, like, being creator beings. So if I am a creator being and I am creating something based on a past story, once I become aware that this environment, this situation, these opportunities are happening because of a story that I keep animating and telling, and let's say that that's what's happening, and I realize I don't like the opportunities that are coming up, or I feel like it's like I got the message, I got the learning, thanks, let's move on. Then it's time to tap back into that creator being, stay present, and rewrite it all. Because we have that power. We are all that powerful that we can say, okay, up until this point, I've always said that this is how I roll. This is what goes on. These are the types of things that happen. If it's not serving you, you can change your own vibration, your own energy, and therefore actually start seeing new and different and up-leveled and exciting opportunities start coming knocking at the door.
Yeah, well, I think I would say is yeah, don't be closed off, but I'm sure we've covered that somewhere. I'm sure
we have somewhere. Yeah, to be flowing with.
But if we haven't, then don't be closed off. Just add that one in there. Because when we're closed off, that's when we miss things.
Well, that's like having the blinkers on and not being able to see the blinkers. The blinkers on the side of your head, so that you can't focus on the big picture. Yeah. Like that's what I mean.
Yeah.
And so therefore, then you can be stuck and not see what's possible. That's the other part, right? Accepting new opportunities. Dream big. What's possible?
Yeah, even just that. And that comes back to your, what is possible. Okay, so if we do what is possible, what does that mean? Does that mean that all the other things I've done and I haven't achieved haven't been possible? Am I a failure for those things? Like, where's my limit? Where's my glass ceiling? Like, all that.
Why would you look for your limit? Why would you look for your limit, though?
No, this is, or I just go, that's what I'm doing. That's my problem. I go, that's what I'm doing. And everyone else goes, hang on a minute. We just need to ground you. And I'm like, no, this is it. You figure out the how. This is what I see. So that what is possible. So I want to add to that, what's possible is keep evolving, keep listening to our podcasts, watch our Facebook lives, read a book on something that's, heart connected, something, just don't let the grass grow below you. I don't know how to really put all that there.
This also to tap into your inner wisdom. Right? Like, and that's in alignment with what you're saying about keep evolving, but to also treat yourself with the loving kindness and the respect that you deserve, that you can make the best choices. And, even as I said that, just because, if you had a new opportunity show up and you said yes to it, and you start immersing yourself in that project or that whatever it was, and you kind of go, oh, doesn't click, it doesn't feel right anymore. Well, then it's time to undo that. Just because you say yes to something doesn't mean you have to take it forever if it doesn't keep clicking or jiving with you, right? So it's about that evolving. I think about myself, about my own energy and what I would say yes to now, as opposed to what I may have said yes to, say, 10, 15 years ago. It's very different. And so I can't then use how and what I did 10, 15, or even yesterday as the yardstick. It's about that evolution of how does this feel right now? Because when we get caught into jealousy or comparing ourselves with other people or listening to the narration of past stories, we are actually not staying present to what are these opportunities right now in this present moment. And when we can clear the lenses and clear the pathways that's when we start to become very, very powerful and very aligned with our own soul guidance, right?
Yeah, I think I'm going to add something along here that's going to say don't question, but also question. So I'm going to say question life, but don't go down the rabbit hole that takes you off questioning life, if that makes sense.
So ask questions, but don't go into the downward spiral of the negative why.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
There you go.
That's it. And the reason I say I want you to ask questions is because that's where you learn.
Yeah.
We learn from asking quality questions, and all questions are quality in your mind, maybe not in others. But definitely just question life, but don't spiral it out. Because questions are going to help you grow and engage in conversation, but not to the detriment.
Yeah, it's to add to your understanding and your and understanding and ability to navigate through a choice, right? So if an opportunity landed and it was a little bit gray or a little bit nebulous as to what it really was, well, of course you have to ask questions like about, is it a time-bound opportunity? Is it a team of people? Is it, so you have, these are the types of questions. So in order to be better informed about what is the opportunity, how it makes you feel, is it in alignment with what's right for you, right?
Yeah. And making that decision, but also going back to those things of nothing set in concrete.
Yeah.
Nothing set in concrete.
Nothing set in concrete, but ultimately too, you are the boss of you. So so if I say yes, definitely going to do that, and then there's pieces missing that I didn't know at the time, and then I have to find out that it's, I have to do this and I have to do that and I have to do this and that. Then I then get to say, okay, we just got to press pause for a moment and inform those around, I kind of jumped the gun. I need a little bit more space around this. But it's not about sailing down the river because, I already put it in motion and now I have to keep going down this river. Maybe I don't even have
to. Yeah. Yeah. I think what a way today. What a way today. And when I look at how to accept new opportunities, say yes, deal with it later. That's what I was taught. Yeah, just say yes and then deal with the panics later. Always say yes. So I haven't said that. That's what I was taught. I was taught just to say yes. Deal with logistics later. Yeah, say yes.
Well, so I like that. So just say yes, but give yourself permission to say, oh, oops.
Yeah.
I said yes. Yeah, oops, doesn't line up. Or I'll get back to you, or I need a wee bit more information.
Yeah.
So interesting points. We are going to start wrapping up this awesome conversation. I liked some of the pieces that came out. So
there was a tangent.
There was a big tangent. So dear listeners, if you didn't already have a note-taking device out, a pen, pencil, paper, electronic note-taking, we encourage you to grab a hold of that, because we're going to
don't forget your note-taking device.
Yes,
from the start.
As best we can. We're just going to rattle through some of the main key points that we discussed and brought up in this conversation about how to accept new opportunities. So I'll kick us off on this one, because the first point that I brought into this conversation was my favorite question that I suggest everybody uses, no matter what the situation is, whether it's an opportunity or a letting something go, is, how does this make me feel about me? So this is a beautiful way to tap into your inner wisdom, your intuition, and your emotional guidance, is to see, is this new opportunity, does it make you feel uplifted and in alignment with yourself and excited and things of that nature?
It's a goodie. It's a goodie.
It is a goodie.
It's a goodie.
How does this make me feel about me? And then, make your decisions based upon and informed by what the feedback was that you got from your inner wisdom.
Right. Well, I've got under mine, I have obligation and saying no.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's, obligation. And as we come into this festive season, this is very heavy on us.
The shoulds.
Yeah, the shoulds, and saying no is even heavier. So just be aware of your written rule that you made to yourself.
Yeah.
Obligation.
Yeah.
Because it can be ripped up. And the saying no with grace and ease.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
The next one I had here was we referenced the PEMS check-in, the checking in with your physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual well-being, the 4 pillars of you. And so I was saying that by checking in with those 4 pillars is a really good informant into this is going to light me up. It's exciting. It's something that I'm going to enjoy, and going from there. Whereas if it's not something that's lighting those or in alignment with your 4 pillars, it might be something that you put off to the side, or you outsource, or you say, circle back in a couple of weeks, that kind of thing. But PEMS check-in is a really powerful way to just really fully check in with you.
Yeah. Yeah. I love it. I love that. Nothing set in concrete.
Yes.
We all change. That's pretty simple.
Yeah.
Who you were at school is no longer the same person. Who you were last week is no longer the same person. You're still the same person, but you've just got different things going on. And that's why we talk about our PEMS check-in.
Yep. Well, that's the nothing set in concrete is because we're always evolving and changing and shifting and growing and becoming, right?
Yeah. And letting it be.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whatever it is.
Whatever it is. The next one I have here is my suggestion around, if you get caught into why is this always happening to me? Why did this happen and that person didn't get it? See if you can change why questions into what. What is the gift here? What's my learning? What is it I can do? That's powerful.
Not what's going on. Not what's going on. And then the why me. No.
Well, I've said this before. I believe that a why question is coming from our thinking process, whereas a what question is coming from our heart, because we get into our feelings. What is the best way through this? What can I do, as opposed to your head's going, why I can't see my way through this, right?
What can I see? What can I see? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the next one we have is a side-swipey one that went on for ages, and it was literally titled People.
That's right. People.
That's how we titled it, People. And from that, we went down a rabbit hole. We went down trust.
Yes.
And I love how Moira talks that trust is an inside job. I love that, because trust yourself, trust others. Most importantly, trust yourself, of course. Yep. And then we talked about under the people, we had past stories, and Moira talked about rewriting our stories. And that is definitely how to accept new opportunities. Be aware of your past stories, acknowledge them. Yes, I can see them, but they don't have to attach to you. And you go, I'll just rewrite this now. I'll just change this pattern right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
The other one under people I had is people are here to live life. I've got not be an a-hole. I've actually filled that in. Haven't got any stars on that. But people are actually here to live life like you are. So that goes back to that trust and that past stories. But just live life. Don't live to die. Live life. And then the last one under that people branch, tree, people tree, is jealousy.
Right.
Be aware of other people's opportunities that you're seeing that you're getting jealous over. Don't dismiss it, acknowledge it, look at it, and then dig into what's going on, really. What is happening here? Why is this happening, but what's going on?
Yeah.
Where's this jealousy coming from? And time to celebrate it. So that they were under my people one.
That thing about the jealousy, that's us comparing ourselves to others, which we've talked about so many different times before too, is that that's not fair for them or you. So got to release that one. The next one I have here is to ask what is possible, that we keep evolving, and can you tap into that energy?
Yeah. Even just thinking about that. Yeah. There was this is saying, what if I fail? And it's like, what if you fly, darling? And it's a beautiful saying. It's like, what if I fail? It's like, what if you don't fail? Like, what if you actually fly? Can't remember saying.
That's a good one. But the other one that came to my mind as you were saying that is there's a quote, and I don't know who said this, that the thing is that sometimes things have to fall apart in order for even bigger and better things to fall together or to come together. Yeah, things fall apart so as the bigger blessings can come together.
Yeah.
So what else is possible, right?
What if I fall? Oh, my darling, but what if you fly?
I love it. I love that. That's beautiful.
That's just sums up what is possible. Yeah. The next one I had was evolve. Don't let the grass grow under us. That's pretty simple. Listen to our podcasts, listen to us, connect with us.
And if you get triggered or discombobulated, reach out to us, because this is the work that we do, is to help people accept new opportunities, to step in and step up and be the auspicious version of themselves. Right?
Yeah. Totally.
Yes. The last one that I had here is this was Deb's thing about don't ask questions, but ask questions. But we were talking about like not from the asking why questions, and not asking it from comparison or jealousy or any of those kind of questions, but ask questions so that you are informed, so that you're fully aware of all the nuances and all the yummy bits of a potential new opportunity, something that's showing up for you, right?
Yeah. Ask questions, but don't watch the rabbit hole.
Yeah.
Watch that rabbit hole, because you can get onto watching a meme on social media, and next thing 4 hours down, you're finding out how the universe ticks, and you still don't even know if it's right or not.
Okay. I can't say that I've ever been there, but okay.
You not got yourself entangled into those. Come on, Moira.
Nope. That's just
not for a while for me.
Not what I would do, but but the other part was that.
Thank goodness she says.
Thank goodness. But it is so the thing that was coming to my mind as you were saying that, though, is that saying that says and paralysis by analysis. So that propensity to ask questions, it's like, well, if it's keeping you stuck or stopping you from making that step forward, then it's like stop asking questions. Go forward.
I love that saying. Yeah.
Yeah, I do too. I do too. It's like
you need to ask. Okay, end of.
Yeah, you need to ask as many questions as to be informed and feel confident, but then move forward. But
not enough that you need to go and teach it.
Yes, you don't need to do that. You don't need to do that. No, unless that's what the new opportunity was to go and teach something.
Yeah. Well, they say as soon as you learn something, is teach it.
Yeah.
I just want to add one thing before Moira wraps it up, and I wrote this down, and it's one of my favorite sayings from Dr. John Demartini. And I think when we talk about how to accept new opportunities, no matter what you've done or not done, you're worthy of love.
Oh, I like that. Yes.
And I think just thinking about that is there's new opportunities here, so you're worthy of love, whatever
Mhm.
love that is.
Mhm.
So that's my little summing up.
I love that.
where
You
we're
are
at.
worthy. Yes, no matter what you have or have not done. And that is,
Yeah.
I mean, I've often said that too, is no matter what the question is, the answer is always going to be based in love, right? So that's a beautiful way for us to bring this beautiful, insightful conversation, our deliciously motivated mindset conversation, all about how to accept new opportunities. So, dear
Yes.
listeners, we would love to hear from you. How does this sit for you? How comfortable or discombobulated do you feel around new opportunities? And let us know. Let us know how opportunities show up for you. What was your favorite tip here? And also, we'd love to know what was your number at the beginning of this conversation and
Whoops.
what was it at the end? So both of us were at 2 at the beginning of our conversation. So Deb, where would you say you are now?
I'm going to say 0 because I don't have a cough, and that last saying just made me go, oh.
Yeah, I loved that one. Very, yeah. Definitely. I'm a 0 also. I loved those quotes, and it just beautifully wrapped up our conversation. So listeners, like I said, we would love to know what was your favorite area that we dove into in this conversation. We'd also love for you to take your next action step. If this resonated with you, if you jived with it, we'd love for you to share it. Create opportunities to share this with people that you know are maybe needing a wee bit of inspiration or insight, and keep the conversation going. So that's us signing off one of our conversations. We will be back again with you next week. This is Debz over there and Moira over here saying, we wish you a deliciously motivated mindset. Much love to you, and we'll be back again with you next time. Bye.
Thanks. Bye.
Thanks. Bye.